Jordan, you ready?
I am.
Perfect.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Breckenridge Social Equity Commission meeting for January 22nd. No, we're okay. But I'm just gonna have Mac do roll call.
Yeah, present is Joe Twan Daniels, June Walters, Lori Morocco, Taja Greer, Jordan Burns, Carol Sade, Sylvia Vicuna. On Zoom is Issa, and absent is Eliana Cram.
And then we have the discussion and approval of last meeting's agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second,
Thanks.
we just have the discussion and approval of the minutes from last meeting as well.
Motion to approve those minutes. Second.
And I just would like to welcome our new members, Mr. Joe Twan Daniels, and Miss Issa Cirillo. It's awesome to have you guys here. And then we will go on to the staff summary with Mac.
Yeah, not a ton to report on for all of you. The biggest things is that our newest housing project is available. The lottery just opened. We've worked with Mountain Dreamers throughout the process to try to make it more accessible as well. So we hope you will share out this information to anybody you know. The interested list was pretty massive, so we expect that this will be a pretty fast rental situation. Our translator devices were ordered and will be arriving on Wednesday. The following departments in your packet are where they're going. They'll all receive training on them, and then we'll have several devices just floating around. And then our DEI committee is working on finishing up their tailored equity lens trainings for their specific departments. We'll also work on getting the commission one as well as town council. So that's just kind of all going on inside of town hall on my side to report to you. Back to you, Jay.
Or Matt,
Oh,
can you give maybe some of our newer commissioners too, a little background on what the equity lens is and explain how it's being catered department specific?
Yeah, thank you, Carol. So the Equity Lens was developed with partnership to the Equity Project. They were the ones that really helped develop out the Equity Blueprint. And this is a document that is used for our organization for our decision making. So it's a list of, things to ask yourself when you're making any event or program or policy to help you consider, are we doing harm? Are we thinking through all the positives? Are we mitigating risks to it? Just a way to make our decision-making process more equitable. And each department, since equity will look a little different for how the organization will use it, we wanted to tailor it into that specific way. So for example, housing will go through this very different than sustainability and public works. So the DEI committee is made up of 13 individuals within Town of Breck from various departments. So they're weighing in on how their department would use a tool like this. With that.
Yeah, that's really helpful. And maybe could you share the equity lens that we had made with just the whole commission? So
Yeah,
they're
of
aware?
course. Can
Thank
do.
you.
Is everyone?
Yeah.
Then we'll go into our subcommittee updates.
Nope. We are going to
Oh.
Brad.
Okay.
All right, everybody, I think, so Jordan, you're on first, Mike, I think everybody should come up in front of the table here. So everybody come up.
Sorry, sir. Action stage.
Yes.
Does anyone know my lines?
Closing the lines today.
Yeah.
I think so, yes. Yeah, the,
Jay proposed. Some aspects of diversity, but not, right? Yeah, I thought maybe this was made to give another person a line, which I don't think I need. So I told Jay, I think it'd be great if he could pretty much eliminate this, but then commissioners will have a better record.
You can't, you're.
In the coming month.
Perfect. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm good with that.
yeah, thank you.
Yes. Whatever you say, I'll just write, because Brad's taking this back so it can all be
Oh, okay.
translated.
Perfect. I'm
but-
not gonna say anything.
And then we'll film Eliana's either Tuesday or Thursday, since she has the flu, is what she texted me this morning. So, and then Issa will be filmed also this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise, all you together. She has really good shots. She sent me several to use for the blueprint. I was like, hey.
Alright, let's try that again. Are you sure?
You did?
No, not really. We're gonna do the open end close. So if you read those lines. Yeah, so we're gonna do a big shot. of food, but we're gonna get everybody kind of in a bunch, and you're gonna be in the center, and then we're gonna do everybody one by one. So we're gonna be open. And close. Okay.
Brad, are we in your way? Do you want us?
No, you're gonna be fine.
Move it?
Can we kill that screen now, please?
Yeah.
Over here.
Ended it.
Okay. Found it.
And we're back. Got two gloves. Awesome.
2 gloves for 2 hands.
We were talking about Star Wars earlier, so to get Luked. No. So now we'll continue on to our subcommittee updates. And for the first committee, we have celebrating diversity. And for our last meeting, we went over the Pride calendar for June, or for the month of June. And we've got a really fun list of events planned. We have the calendar in everyone's packet for this month. We do have one question. We want to find a date for the commissioner happy hour about Pride. And we weren't sure if it would be better to have that during the week where most of the events are, or have it towards the end of the month to continue having discussions throughout the entire month of June. So it would either be like the week of like the 9th through the 15th or the 23rd through the 29th.
Of June,
Yes.
23rd.
Mhm.
I think we should do it before the. Testing. Okay, cool. I think we should do it the first one, the first dates, the earlier dates. Sorry, just to like create buzz about it. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, and we are going to be doing trivia. Allie is gonna have Pride themed trivia at Broken Compass the week before and maybe the week of. Yep, and the week of as well. So
Yeah, I love that. And I would love even like during trivia if she was like, just so you guys know, like there's a Pride event going on, like
Mhm.
PSA.
yeah. How does sound of the same week as most of the events sound great for everyone? Or I guess like we could do it like the week leading, like before,
Yeah, I was thinking
like the 2nd through the 8th.
that's what I was.
Like
yeah.
that's the first full week of June.
Mhm.
And the idea is to just spread out some of the activation, so it's not during Pride Month, it's not just that weekend,
Mhm.
it's spread throughout the month. So, yeah, I think Taj has a great suggestion, doing it early, creating hype. Cool.
Thanks.
And then also during February for Black History Month, plans are being reviewed for reusing banners and then highlighting African American artists through the building projector in the Arts District, which is really fun. I love seeing like activations there and videos. It's such a cool way to display things, especially in the evening with how dark it gets so quickly. And then also looking into organizing a cooking class on African American cuisine at CMC. And then also the Braille event has been rescheduled for the 30th of January from 4:30 to 6. And there's an updated flyer in the packet as well.
If you want to hand it out around town, you have a copy. If you need more, let me know.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun event organized along with the Colorado School for the Blind, and they're going to send up 2 instructors. So it'll be really cool to just learn another form of communication throughout our world. And for our second subcommittee, we have community outreach and engagement. And for that, we did have our equity blueprint come out before this meeting or before that meeting. So we talked about organizing our press releases and contributing to some media channels. I did an interview with Summit Daily, as well as a radio interview with Crystal 93. And I believe Carol spoke with Kit as well. So yeah, and those are both out now already. So please don't mind hearing my voice a million times on there.
Your voice is calming.
I've
And
been made to read a
Like
lot.
those,
of things.
Brooke, with the press release that we posted online, I'm just curious, do we keep track of the traffic or the numbers that go to those sites, or who opens the press release emails we send out, just in general?
Well, Granicus doesn't keep any of that for us, so I'd have to look at Google Analytics to see if we had any of that, but I think it's more about page views and that kind of thing. It's not really about documents that people open up, so.
Okay.
So for those who couldn't hear Brooke, so we will have page view numbers on for our analytics on how those were received and engaged with. And for our next subcommittee, we have community education and influence. And we actually just filmed a mission statement video that will be released shortly. And I don't think they have met yet, but they have some goals that they're going to be working on here in the near future. We'll be able to tell you more about. Then immigration rights and advocacy, that group will be meeting tomorrow on the 23rd. So we'll have more updates on that in our next meeting.
And Mac, I don't know if Mountain Dreamers has reached out. Mountain Dreamers has a seat on the subcommittee. I don't know if anyone can join, but if they can't join, let's just all meet maybe in Breck, since we're all in Breck. Does that work for you, Sylvia, or will you be in Frisco?
I'll be going to Dillon afterwards, so either in the county is fine with me.
All right, let's stick to the original location. Keep it easy then. Yeah.
So, and then our next subcommittee is going to be civic engagement. And in our packet this month, we all have our first run of the mini grant. Hopefully it'll be ready in March. And we would just like to ask other commissioners if they had any other local nonprofits in mind to apply for our first mini grant. Just to put together a list of just.
Yeah, I think
it's-
the idea with this is, Eliana, Lori, Mac and I, and, worked on the kind of structure for these mini grants. And as we all were talking about outreach, we want to be a little more targeted if possible. So we thought it'd be great if any commissioners know of organizations that maybe aren't as big or would get just like, we don't want to just put out a Blast Summit Daily article and get flooded with applications. So just be a little more targeted, or anyone that's presented to this committee in the past. Just any sort of organization that meets the criteria. So it is a 501c3 nonprofit, a couple other bullets, but we think it'd be great to maybe initially do a more targeted outreach, like, hey, we're just starting this program for mini grants, like, would love for you to apply.
Do we have a list of the nonprofits that have already come to us and kind of, introduced themselves, asked for help, whatever?
Yeah, we have a list of all of our partner agencies that have come and talked to us, like the NRO has been here a couple times.
Mhm.
HC3 has talked to us. So we have a record of that. And then we also have a list of everybody who's applied to the Town of Breck nonprofit grant too, that we can look at.
Is there a way to send out like an email to introduce like, hey, the BSAC just started a grant process, if you know what I mean, like just a general email to send to those parties? Would that be a good idea? Do you guys think that's a
Yeah,
good
I think
idea?
that would work. Our existing, I don't know how many applications we get. We get
We
close
get
to
probably
100.
get a lot, yeah.
So that's something where one thing I think Eliana brought up is that this is a great grant opportunity for those like maybe less large, well-established organizations
Mhm.
to have some support for their equity initiatives. So we thought this word of mouth encouragement initially could be helpful, but that said, it is a town program and we do want to get the word out.
Yeah.
So we can think about maybe seeing what this group has. I think that's a great idea. Any group that's presented in front of this committee, and any other smaller nonprofits
Mhm.
we're familiar with.
And I mean, if we already have those listed, it would be nice to review and look through, but maybe if they already received grant funding from the town, maybe we want to look at other organizations that have not.
Mhm.
And yeah, like you said, smaller organizations that are not as established, maybe we could try to reach out directly to.
I think that's a great idea. For sure. I think we're good.
So just the last note I had was just that that group is still working on the matrix for decisions on who gets approved. Still, because I know we've talked about that once in the past on if it would be a smaller collective of this entire commission who would decide, and then it would come to the larger group, and I guess we still have to get that figured out.
I think that more or less that flow will work, that these grants will first be vetted in the civic engagement subcommittee, and then it will come up for full approval to the full commission. The matrix is more maybe our criteria of what we really look for when awarding the grants.
And if everyone would like to look through that, it is in our packet, and just to look over just some of the questions in it and make sure everyone is comfortable with them all as well.
Sounds good, thanks. I have a question that's not related to any of this, but could be. Whatever happened to, I think his name was Bill or Dill, that came to talk with us about parking for the unsheltered? Did we ever follow up? Like what, I knew we were getting the police department to come talk to us maybe a little bit about it, but I never heard anything else moving forward.
No, great question. I don't know the follow-up with that, but I wonder if we could follow up with them, and also plug him into what the police department came and talked to us about if he doesn't already have that knowledge, like kind of just starting to do that process of like, oh, this person came to us 3 months ago and was talking about parking. And then the police department a month after that came in, you know what I mean? Maybe we could start being kind of the bridge in a way. What do you guys think of that?
I know, like, at least from what I remember when he asked about it, was more like access to spots. And then when the police department came in, they said there were quite a bit available, but there was just a vetting process to it to be in certain locations. So I guess it'd just be looking at the application process and seeing if it's both in English and Spanish, which I believe it was
Mhm.
already. So I guess just handing that information out again to him and letting them know that there are some spots available.
Were you here when that, I don't remember.
I don't
You were
think
here.
I was because I don't
No.
remember the police department talking. So maybe that was the
Mm.
only meeting I've missed this year.
Yeah, no, they were very informative in that there were spots available, but there is a background check that goes along with accessing those spots,
Mhm.
just for the safety of all who are going to be using them.
But I think all in all, it's a really, like, if you can get into it, it's a really good deal. Like, all in all, like, very cheap and has like the porta potties right there and things like that. So yeah, it's like, it's good.
Thank you. Thank you for the update.
We're a team. And then if that's all for our subcommittee updates or questions for anyone on any of the other subcommittees. Cool. Then we'll go on to our equity blueprint, which was launched and approved by town council, which is awesome. I'm so excited. It's been a very long time coming and it's a lot of, it's what we wanted it to be. And we took the time and care to make sure that it was us and it sounded like us. So that's very important. And yep, yeah, well, I guess like I've said, we've done, Carol and I have done the Summit Daily article and I've done the Crystal 93 radio interview. Next Friday, Lori and I will be filming for SCTV. And I guess we're just starting to gain a little bit more traction with all of this exposure and people are more interested in us. So hopefully in our upcoming meetings, we'll have some more public comment and just more people that we can meet and more opportunities in the community, which will be amazing. And with that, we do have a community partner meeting scheduled for the 30th at the Senior Center. It's going to be from 11 to 12:30. And Mac is going to do some big printouts of the blueprints and hand out sticky notes so that our community partners can write out some of their projects that are aligning with the things in the blueprint so we can start working together. So instead of individually working on all of these goals, we can start to collaborate a bit more.
Awesome.
And then we are also in our packets, there are 3 times for a coffee talk to discuss the blueprint more with the community. So if everyone can, Mac, will there be a doodle poll with those or?
I would love to get your weigh-in now, and if that 8 to 9 slot isn't ideal, we can discuss that too, but ideally, one of those 3 days, if there is a preference from this group immediately that I can start working on.
So our 3 days of choice currently are Friday, February 2nd. They'll all be at the same time from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. So Friday, February 2nd, Tuesday, February 6th, and Friday, February 9th.
I would love to participate in the coffee talks. I am not back until, the, 5th. So could we,
And 9th to give June a little bit time to
Works for
get
me.
back and
Friday
get
the
settled. Friday the 9th.
I would have to check on that, but
Okay.
my vote was the 2nd. Sorry, Jane.
Well, on the 9th, but I could do the 2nd or the 6th.
I'll-
Gonna get everybody, right? I mean.
Yeah, I mean, like, you guys don't need me there. Mine vote is the 2nd or the 9th,
Do either.
but the 9th I'll have to let you guys know. if I'll be available.
Can you make the other ones?
the only one I can't make is,
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I can't make Tuesday ones, but that's fine.
okay. And you can't make the 9th.
Correct.
I'm likely
So we
out.
can't make that.
Yeah.
That, I
Well,
think that we, look more at Sylvia's schedule.
So doodle hole.
because-
I'll try to be proactive about it.
Because you know, if we want to include everyone, I think it's very important that we have at our coffee talks a bilingual person.
Oh, good idea.
So, if the second works, then it should be the second, and I'll make another coffee talk. There you go. Another time, yeah,
We do have the one scheduled in June as well.
right,
Um,
right.
And I know the topic for this one is to kind of review the blueprint, what we've been
Right.
doing at a high level, but we are into Black History Month, so it'd be great within the content, at least acknowledge that or give a shout out to the other activations happening.
Yeah, I agree.
Second.
Second.
So Friday, February 2nd from 8 to 9.
Perfect. Thank you. Sorry, June.
That's okay.
Miss you. We can FaceTime you.
Yeah, zoom me in.
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
And if Scott is ready.
Sure.
We'll hand it over to you for the upcoming council discussion.
Thank you. Well, first off, I would say, well done. Thank you so much for all your work on the equity blueprint. I found it really well, and the presence that you had at the meeting. And I just think that I think council really appreciates everything that you all have done thus far, and the product was exceptional. I thought it was really cool to see. And I know one of the questions we received was looking forward to seeing the update that we're gonna have. There's a better name for that.
The
update.
community impact.
Thank you. The
report.
community impact report was one of those, like, let's drill down into some specifics, but that was the only request that we heard. But in general, there's just huge kudos for the work that you all are doing, and grateful appreciation for both your dedication and your presence and what you're doing. So tomorrow is a council meeting. There are a couple things that I would highlight as maybe of interest to y'all. You can either be you can be present at the site, or you can watch it remotely. Either way, right at 3 o'clock, we have a presentation of the climate equity plan, which you all have seen a couple times. But it's nice to have certainly your presence and support to hear how that's gonna kind of go through council. What they're looking for is essentially a presentation from HC3, High Country Conservation Center. Thank you. And also town staff will be there as well. So presentation of that climate equity plan. And the goal is to have kind of a council head nod so they come back the following meeting and do a resolution to approve it formally. The second presentation right after that will be the Breck Tourism Office, which just did a resident sentiment survey, which is something we do every other year or so. And it covers some really, I think, in-depth topics for our community, including congestion and crowding and access to housing, and just kind of it's sort of it kind of looks at the pulse of how the trends are going in our community. And since it's a longitudinal survey, those just happened every other year for a while, it's good to see the comparative data. So that information will be really interesting to see and hear. Once again, please feel free to attend if you're able, or again, you can tune in online or watch it later as well. But I think that information, for anyone in the community, is super helpful. And I think the role that y'all play is really important as well. So thank you. And then beyond that, we have a few other things. The meeting kind of shortened because we had a number of things that were on and then we're off. But this meeting tomorrow also includes exterior lighting code amendments, which may be of interest to you in terms of what does it look like to have exterior lighting on houses and buildings, including holiday decorative lighting, which is you can sort of see overwhelming our town right now. So it's really just a clarity in terms of what the expectations are. There are certainly some tensions in the community about we want more lighting, we want less lighting, and kind of to appease, kind of achieve a dark sky compliance is part of our goal. We want, as a community, we've set a goal to be dark sky compliant. And so this will play into that as well. It's less restrictive perhaps than you think when you consider a dark sky concept. So but it's pretty technical information, and kind of interesting. If you have any questions, let us know. There's an IGA with Summit County who's going to help us, who actually provides the services, both the staffing and the technical information for the upcoming April election. We have several seats up, as you all may be aware. Obviously, Eric Mamula is now a county commissioner, so we're down to essentially 6 council members, and Kelly Owens is mayor pro tem. So we have 6 folks up at the dais. And then Jeffrey Bergeron is term limited, and Dick Carlton is up for kind of re-election, if you will. So we've got several seats that are up for election, and we've had several folks that are. I think today is the deadline for turning in your ballot. Sorry, your
Application.
application to run. And I think we've had several coming in, and so we'll have to see how that goes. But the IGA essentially allows Summit County to run that election for us from a technical standpoint. There is a really interesting conversation about the Carter Park dog park.
I was like, what's going on with the dog park? I
Yeah.
don't even have a dog.
Well,
It's very interesting. What's going on?
there's a map. It's interesting if you haven't been on there and or again watched the presentation, but we've had Norris Design come in and do some designs to improve the sort of the surface and the drainage and some of the sort of facilities, if you will, in the dog park, which is a really big part of our community for a lot of folks.
Mhm.
So that'll be an interesting discussion. It certainly comes with a price tag, and how we break that price tag down is one of the questions going to council. And then if you look at the next meeting, the 13th of February, Breckenridge Grand Vacations Development Proposal will be coming back. That's obviously a very large discussion that's been going on for many weeks, but we are close to kind of having a development agreement, so that they sort of say, here's the full package, and here are some of the benefits, and here are some of the kind of exchanges that we're going to have as far as what's going to occur for there. Similarly, the Blue River Pathways concept, which is trying to make the Blue River a little more pedestrian friendly and kind of more of a linear park, if you will, versus sort of just an arterial rec path concept. That'll be interesting. And then we also have a presentation from the Community Care Clinic, just updating on what the services they provide. So those are some of the big topics we have. Carol, or any questions you have for me, or Carol, you want to add anything to that?
And this is tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow meeting? Okay.
Sorry, the 13th of the last 3 I just mentioned. It's the
it's
13th.
February,
Yeah.
okay.
So
And
tomorrow's is a little bit smaller.
yeah, can we remind times and everything for the council meetings?
They typically start at 3,
Mhm.
depending on the agenda. So tomorrow's starts at 3.
Mhm.
And then it sort of varies by meeting in terms of what the concepts are. But the first essentially hour will be presentations tomorrow. So 3 to
Sure.
4. And then there's the manager's report, legislative, the manager's report. My guess is that the Carter Park dog park plan, if I recall right, on the agenda was between 5:15 and 5:45.
Okay.
There is an executive session tomorrow night too, which I know that is sort of that's the end of the public session of the work session.
Mhm.
So 5:45 will be the cutoff for that, as I understand it.
Thank
And you can always zoom into those meetings. And I believe at one point, Mac, did we get everyone signed up to get when the packet goes out, typically the Thursday before Tuesday council meeting, that
Mhm.
shows the agenda and the topics and the times. So should all be on that.
Confirm, and then, if you're ever interested, if you haven't spent a ton of time on the Town of Breck website, if you go under government, this is right below, but Town Council, you can always find the work sessions there too and review the packet. And also find Town Council's usually posted to YouTube, right afterwards as well.
Packets are great. They have click-throughs. So if there's any one thing that you like, you can just click on that. It'll take you to
Right.
that section.
Jordan loves the packet.
I like
I have to run to another meeting, but just sure. And appreciate the work y'all are doing. This is amazing. Wanted to articulate that from the last.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah.
and then
And thank you, June. If you guys didn't get it to watch the 20 minutes of our presentation, June gave an amazing speech at the beginning. We put her on the spot, so I was really glad. And then Lori and Tuan joined as well. So kind of big thank you. Thank you. You're breezing through this packet today.
I don't know if I can keep this standard throughout the rest of these running back, but we'll find a way to get out of here at 9 still.
First one of the year, it's Joe Tuan's first. Fool you into thinking that this is how they always go.
Just everything's been right on time today. Well, now that Scott is done with the upcoming council discussions, we'll go on to other matters. And Breckenridge is having a few exhibitions that they'd love for us to attend if we have time. In plain sight, queer rural narratives from the water and the land. It's going to be until or starting on January 20th.
Starts on January 27th.
Starting on January 27th, featuring artist Ben Cuevas.
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 Mhm.
Lindsay Cleric Waller, Robert Martin, Jenny Stram, Stam. Yeah, thank you. And Jose Villalobos.
Villalobos.
And it is challenging assumptions about queer history and explores the intersections of rural ecologies. Yeah, that word's hard to say for me. I'm sorry about that. Extraction impacts and climate change. I think it'll be a really cool event. I'm excited to go see all this work. I love all the things that Brett Create has been able to bring to town. It's just their diversity of artists for a rural mountain community is very well welcomed. I wouldn't say unexpected because everyone's from so many different places that I love all the interactions that we get to have here. And then there's going to be Valentine's Day love letters and Valentine's Day poetry and history night on the February 14th. It kicks off with some informal talks about some of the exhibiting artists. It also showcases love letters and poems about queer authors, past and present, with a rural backdrop in line with the in plain sight theme. So if anyone is free on either of those days, or I guess any of the days in between January 27th and February 14th, to see the first event, they would love to have us there, and all of you who watch this.
So received an email from Tamara over the weekend. They are going to be hosting a mayor/commissioner coffee talk at the old Masonic Hall on February 2nd. And they also have some more plugins to these two events. So I will forward the invite for their coffee talk to this commission if you're interested in that, and seeing.
Mac, is the second the date the commission just picked? So does it
Should we change it?
conflict?
You know what?
I was just thinking that.
That
Wait,
will.
we're about to die.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder why the second sounds familiar. So,
Maybe we should join
I will.
the mayor's coffee talk and bombard him.
Yeah.
I'm sure Eric would be stoked. I will send a new doodle poll out for coffee talk dates for our commission, so we don't conflict with the commissioners' coffee or the mayor and commission coffee talk. All right.
Thank you.
Glad I read that email. So, but I will forward this invite to all of you, if you're interested, but, yeah, it's nice that Breck Create extends a personal invite to the whole commission. So I know that Avery and all of them would love to see you all. And, it's really all my other matters that I got for you.
And I know we've gone over this before, but just to refresh everyone during other matters, this is an opportunity if any commissioner has something they want to bring up, either like something they notice, something they want to talk about, or even something they want to see on a future agenda. Like this is the time for anyone to bring up, chat about anything they want. In case anyone has. Not exactly.
Well, cool. Then I'd like to open it up for public comment if there's anyone in the public. Cool, then I would like a motion to adjourn today's meeting.
Motion to second, to move to second it.
Adjourn.
Adjourn.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you need a second.
Sorry.
Perfect. Um,
Cool.
Well, thank you all for
We
coming today.
finished early today.
Thank you all.
Good job.
Sorry, guys, I missed the meeting. I don't know if you can hear me.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'm stuck at the airport, so I'm sorry. But I'm gonna try to make it to the coffee on February 2nd. I need to look at my schedule, but I'm sure I can probably make it. But yeah, see you guys next time then.
Next time.
Thanks. Thank you, Isa.
Thank you.
You.
Sweet. Thank you, everyone.